So, Chig, oh man, where do we start dissecting that? Arsenal nil, Liverpool 3, a depleted Liverpool, not a full strength Liverpool, a Liverpool that weren't even in third gear. And it was just spineless, horrible, and no fight. And I just said to you backstage before we started to record this, in the last 18 years, we've had 3 or less shots at goal, only 5 times in 18 years. And 4 of them have been under this manager. What did you? I mean, just that in itself is just a shambles, isn't it? What did you? I'm laughing because I don't want to get angry. But what did you? What did you make of the game, mate?
It tells its own story, doesn't it? Those stats. I mean, we're just a calamity, aren't we? We've got a captain who's too busy trying to be one of the Migos, an actual football player. We've got, you know who the Migos are. You know why that makes sense. We've got a manager who clearly hasn't got a clue what he's doing. We've got injuries galore. We've got experienced players that are either injured or left on the bench. We've got informed players that are on the bench, off-form players that are starting games. It's just a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. And I don't know. I mean, you talked about my man looking like Travis Scott. At least Travis Scott wins Grammys. What are we winning?
Mate, do you know what? Real talk, yeah. We would have been better off with Travis Scott, yeah, at left wing tonight because he was absolutely pathetic. And do you know what summed up his performance to a T was when he ran off the pitch. That was the quickest he run all night, by the way. He ran off the pitch. And then I said, we said he's back on the pitch because he forgot to take the armband off and give it to Lacazette. Yeah. That's
it was something that
night. Yeah,
it was something that Ola mentioned during our player ratings. That it was just the thing that pissed him off the most. It was just like there was just no urgency at all whatsoever.
Yeah, and that was it. It was no urgency from. I said to you when you joined. I know you were a little bit late tonight because dodgy Wi-Fi and all that on the watch along. Yeah. But I said to you, we're going to lose this game. It's a matter of time before they score. And Kenny's just said that he weren't happy with the performances tonight. And Dan as well said like the same. Kenny said as soon as they scored, it was game over, mate. Like 1-0. It was game. They were cruise control, man. It was mad.
But at no point did we think it would be anything different. In fact, the biggest surprise was it was 0-0 at half time. And if anything, I said this to you during the watch along, it was almost like they were like, how dare you come into half time 0-0? All right, we're going to show you what we're about. We'll bring on our secret weapon, our not so secret weapon in Jota, and give us a spanking. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. And the thing is, it was a spanking in such a limp and pathetic way. We didn't even we didn't even care today by the looks of it. And like, you know, when I spoke to some of the other lads as well doing these fan cams tonight, they've all said the same thing. It was just like, you know, the result done us justice more than anything. And like, you know, they weren't in top gear. The players and the manager are at fault. You know, it was just like error after error after error all over the pitch. You know, and I think like I said to Kenny a minute ago, I said like he's played Callum Chambers at right back tonight, and he said, well, he looks like a centre half playing right back. That sums it all up, yeah, because I think he's obviously saving Bellerin for Thursday.
For some reason, he's bought Rob Holding out of the cold from nowhere. It was just like, well, clearly you thought at some point Rob Holding was not good enough about 2-3 months ago where he was dropped, rightly so. And then all of a sudden you just winged him into this game. What kind of performance did you expect?
You know, that's
things like that don't make no sense.
Mate, this manager's not made any sense since he's got the job. Let's be honest. In the interview after the game, I haven't watched it, but I've been told that after the game, he basically just said, "Yeah, it's all my fault," which obviously will get him praise because he's accepted it was his fault. Well, how many times has he said it's his fault this season? He said it after a few games this season. Yeah, it might be your fault, mate, but what are you doing to rectify it so it don't happen the next game or the next game?
That's the thing I've said to you. For me, it's not. We're getting past the point of now saying you're not experienced. We know you're not experienced. now we need to see how you're learning from your mistakes, and you're not. You're repeating them. You're making worse mistakes. It's like you're doubling up on them. It's like the point now where sometimes I think he's trolling us. Like, well, why would you do this? Like, why would you actually do this? So, it's funny because I said this to you offline. I was just now watching another podcast talking about how we should give Mikel Arteta another year because of the fact that if United can give Oli 3 years, then on that basis, then Mikel Arteta deserves more time. No, how about what has he done to earn the right to stay at the club?
Yeah.
What has he done? Oh, okay, we won an FA Cup. Whoop-de-doo. What have you done for me lately? I've said this to you before, and I said this to you again. This is a what have you done for me lately business. And lately, Mikel Arteta hasn't done anything to warrant a stay at this club longer than necessary.
Mate, I see a stat earlier as well that's like said that in our last 10 games, we've lost 4 of them. We've only won 3 and we've drawn 3. Yeah, so even with this upturn of form, we've still lost more than we've won. Yeah, and we're winning 30% out of 10 games. Yeah, that's not acceptable for a club of our size. But obviously, we do have a game on Thursday, and we've conceded 6 goals in the last 2 league games against West Ham and Liverpool. Do you see or give us any hope in that game? Because, like, I think he is putting all of his eggs in this basket, and this basket could collapse real quick, mate, because if these players put in performances like they did against Olympiacos, like they did against West Ham, like they've done against Liverpool, we're going out of this against Slavia Prague. That ain't even a joke. People are laughing. That ain't a joke. We will be getting knocked out. But do you see us progressing, or do you see us
whenever we put our eggs into one basket, the basket always collapses on us. Home Alone style, in the middle of the snow, baskets burst. You know, that's just the way it happens with us. We're not very good at playing under pressure. We are essentially Humpty Dumpty, and we always fall off that wall.
Yeah.
And I'm not expecting us to change overnight. Yes, our priority should be Europa League because that is a cup competition we can win, and we can still achieve our objectives through it. But at the same time, you know, based on what I saw today, do I think we have enough to even beat Slavia Prague on Thursday? No. Unless something dramatically changes. We had 2 shots all game at home.
Yeah.
You know, unless something dramatically changes, I'm not holding my breath on Thursday. In fact, quite frankly, it's going to be squeaky bum time throughout that entire game.
No, listen, mate, appreciate you coming on, and big up to you this week as well, man. It's been a hard week for us both. And yeah, man, listen, we support each other, me, you, Kenny, all of us in that group, Afsal, Zach as well, even though he's not in the group anymore, we still speak to each other. And it's been a hard week, so big up to you, man, and big up to everyone as well that's been watching and supporting this week. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.